Hey guys, everybody. So this is just one of those random videos I sometimes make. So the house myself tonight, and whenever that happens, my mind seems to wander more than usual, and it wanders a lot on the normal times. So anyway, I'm just looking at the stars right now. What few there are with the cloudy sky. But anyway, my point of this video is just what's on my mind right now. You know, I figured I might start doing more of these. Anyway, to get to the point, if you know, I'm a big fan of horror and thriller movies. And if you know me, you know that. But I am super, super picky about them. Like, there's a lot of ones that, like the Babadook, I just don't like, and a lot of people do. I'm super picky about them. My favorite genre, but it's really hard for me to find a good one. Well, there's this channel on YouTube called Sinister Cinema Reviews. And I'm just looking around, make sure there's no wild animals, but the fucking wind chimes. But he's been like, I'll look at his reviews, his list and stuff. I'll write things down, and I'll look them up, and they look interesting. I'll watch them. Now, every one the movies that he's recommended, I've at least most of them I've really liked. There's one I thought was just meh, okay, but that's actually really cool because, like I said, I'm very picky for so for me to find a list of movies that I actually really enjoyed from one reviewer is cool. Now, the reason I mention him, and I don't want anybody to think this is his fault. He has a really good channel. I definitely recommend you checking him out. Now, what I'm not going to say, what I'm going to say about what's in my mind is not a bad thing, but I don't want anybody to watch this video and then go into him like, "Oh, this is all your fault," blah 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 blah, because that's just stupid. That's not even true. But so he, I don't remember which video it was, but he talked about a movie called Resolution, and sure enough, I looked it up and it was on Amazon Prime. So I just watched it, and at first, I was kind of like, I wasn't really getting to it. It was kind of cool, but it gets really, really weird and I can't really describe much about the movie. That's not what this is about. But I also remember the reviewer, Sinister Cinema, mentioning another movie, and he said, "Well, this one ties into Resolution." That's how I found out about Resolution. He said something like, "I didn't even know it was tied into it until the Resolution stuff happened." So I looked up Resolution, and I watched it tonight. Really interesting movie. One of those weird ones. Not everyone's gonna like. A lot of people will say it's pretentious or just because they didn't understand it, which I didn't understand all of it. It's fairly open to interpretation, but so yeah, a lot of people aren't liking it because of that. But I really enjoyed it. So I was like, what's the other movie that he was mentioning that ties into it or has something to do with it? At least set in the same universe, if it's not technically a sequel. Well, so I asked him on Twitter, and it's pretty late, so understandably there's no response yet, but I was looking around the IMDb page for Resolution, and it said, "Watch this before the Endless." I'm like, holy shit, the Endless, that sounds really fucking familiar. And so I looked it up, and it's a movie, it's on Netflix. You have to pay for it on Amazon, but it's on Netflix for free, and it's about these two brothers who they I think they see video diaries, I believe it is, and about this old cult they were in, and the cult is like a UFO cult. It's very reminiscent of Heaven's Gate. In fact, the movie that Heaven's Gate had to inspire the Endless because they also did the whole end of life. We're going to end it videos. So that's that. But what got me was I was like, no. So I've ended this a while back, so it's been probably at least a year or so. I'm like, I don't really remember anything. So then sticks in my mind that I can look back in Resolute and say, hey, that looks familiar. Now, that may be because when I watched The Endless, and very well maybe because when I watched The Endless, Resolution wasn't in my mind, I didn't know anything about it. But then I started thinking, I'm like, hey, wait a minute. There's one scene in Resolution where one of the characters is walking around. He's like in this desert, kind of desert area, because he's trying to help his friend who's high on drugs come down. But just watch the movie. I don't want to skip too much away. But he runs across these people, and he kind of walks by them, ignoring them, like, hey, how are you? What are you doing out here? And, they eventually say that they're part of a religion, and he says something like, the guy that he runs into says something like, we just wanted to let everybody know that the Messiah will come down in his craft or his vessel or something along those lines before the end of days. And that was kind of like a weird thing to me. I was like, okay, weird, and that's Heaven's Gate. Because I'm a huge true crime buff, so that story is really, the whole Heaven's Gate story is really interesting to me. And the fact that there are actually people who still believe in the religion, who got out of it before the suicide, but still believe the basic principles. But anyway, I was like, wait a minute, now there's a connection. There's a connection because they had to have been from. I don't know if the cult in the Endless is called the Endless. I don't think it is. That's the whole reason why it's called the Endless. But it's got me thinking. Now I'm up. I don't. It's usually time I kind of wind down and want to go to bed, but I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's really got my brain racking. Like, it's too late to start The Endless tonight, but I'm definitely going to watch that tomorrow and see what the connection is. It's just, I mean, the resolution. I don't remember The Endless really sticking to me that much. I thought, if I remember quickly, it was a cool movie. Nothing special, nothing magnificent, but a cool little movie. But the resolution really stuck with me. So that's that. That's just my thoughts. Like I said, I may start doing these as like a video journal kind of thing whenever my mind's wandering, just to get it out there. It doesn't really matter if nobody watches this shit or not. It's just for me to talk and get out there. So that's the first of these, or kind of. I've done these in the past, but very few and far between. Anyway, I'm gonna shut it off. Thanks for listening.